If you can, just kind of talk about how much that first half performance, by Ricky Rubio sparked you guys for the rest of the game. Just talk about how did he spark you guys with that?
Yeah, I mean, we've thought the game was a little discombobulated for a while with some foul trouble and some different matchups that we haven't seen as much in the series. And Ricky attacked. I think he attacked, but with poise. And he was making some shots. I thought he took good shots, and it really stabilized our group during that time.
Steven Adams picks up his third or fourth foul and gets into foul trouble, and then you guys stay big while they go small, and we're able to dominate the glass. How important was that, and how did you decide to stay big in that time?
Well, it's one thing to stay big. It's another thing to stay big with Rudy and Derek. So, I mean, that's who we are, and that's not to say, I think, over the course of the game, that changed some. But that was a unique lineup that they had with Patterson at the 5 and with Melo, and it presented some problems for us, no question. I think Rudy Rudy's got to be disciplined. His instinct is to help on penetration, and then you give up, some of those space threes. But I thought he did a good job in pick and roll, and we communicated well, and were able to help each other in those situations.
Joe Engels really came loose and hit some big fourth quarter shots. What was open for him tonight that maybe wasn't open earlier in the series?
Well, I think, part of it is just Joe being aggressive, and, against, their length, there's times when you don't feel like you're open, and, you're not as open by any means when they're closing out on you. But I thought Joe, just had a more aggressive mindset tonight where, there's going to be some times where he takes contested shots, and that doesn't make them bad shots. And we felt like, the balance is something that's important. And, I think Joe just threw himself into the defensive end as well. And when you do that, your offense kind of comes more naturally. And as you said, he was able to get loose and get some clean looks and made them. They were big shots.
Just looking at the turnovers, you guys had 19 turnovers. Oklahoma State scored 33 points off the turnovers. What does it say about the team that you guys were able to overcome that bit of adversity?
Well, I'd like to not have us overcome that. I think that's been an emphasis for us. There's a fine line between, being aggressive and, being aggressive and smart. And some of them I thought were careless. Some of them we just have to be more precise, whether it's spacing better or, using ball fakes. That it's, they're as good at that as anyone. They lead the league in deflections and steals, and that's something that, we need to be better at. There's no question about it.
Coach, I thought you made a change at some point in that game to have Donovan start guarding Russell Westbrook. What did you think about the job he did there and about his overall defensive game tonight?
Well, the biggest thing, he just wanted to try to stay in front of him. And, we know he's a great player. And, you're not going to be able to stop him in any way. You just, the emphasis just was try to, contain. And, I thought Donovan was disciplined in doing that. And, again, he had help with guys getting back and trying not to let him see gaps in the defense, because if he sees those, he's aggressive and he's able to hit him, and he does that anyway. So, for us, I think we've got to have everybody ready to guard everybody. Whoever that means on our team has to step up, and if we do get cross-matched or there's switches or it's transition, guys just have to be disciplined in what they're doing. I thought Royce, was the same way. Just did a really good job being solid, and that those matchups all through the game with different guys, everybody's got to try to take that challenge.
I know we've asked you before about your relationship with Ricky and what that's meant to you to see him succeed. I mean, he just had the first Jazz triple-double in 10 years. I mean, is that something special for you?
Yeah, I think, he had a heck of a game, and it's one of the big reasons we were able to win the game. I think right now, Ricky would agree this isn't time to celebrate an individual game to the extent that, we can celebrate him playing well, and celebrate's the wrong word. There's no celebrating anything. He's just got to keep being solid. He can't leave Felton 2 times for corner threes. So there's room for improvement, and obviously that's not to take anything away from the way he played. I think the biggest thing, that you can say about Ricky is he just competes. And, we expect that from him. His teammates expect it from him. And he just needs to, whatever the game presents on a given night, whether it's him scoring or setting other people up, there's a balance there, and he's got to find it every time we play, and I thought he did tonight.
Quin, where does the atmosphere tonight rank for you in your experience and travels, and what did it do for you guys?
It was tremendous. It's you're grateful, for our fans that they were that engaged, and it has an impact. I think it has an impact on our players, and they've been like that all year, and I think tonight they hit a new high, and I don't have to encourage them to continue it. We know and appreciate what we have. I think our whole team, with our fans, and so it's not something that we take for granted, but you come to expect it on some level, and I think everybody was excited about tonight and the opportunity to play at home, and we've got another one in a couple days.